We are joined by ASEE Executive Director Norman Fortenberry. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So conferences are always a great time to readjust priorities and really look at the goals ahead. What are those for you this year?
Those priorities really continue from the time that I assumed the role of Executive Director. I believe that there are really a few very important priorities. First and foremost, we need to strengthen the organization's finances, build a reserve, and then go on to build an endowment. We need to expand our professional development offerings to our members and expand it in a sustainable manner so that we can continue offering those benefits. We need to link our organization to other organizations in the pursuit of ASEE's goals. Our goals are on our website, but we can't work in isolation. We need to work with others. I believe we need to broaden active participation in ASEE, both within our disciplinary structure and our geographic structure. We need our members to be more active, and so talk about what I just said previously in terms of those other goals. By providing more services, we hope that members will see enough benefit that they will want to become more involved and more active. We need to find ways to keep our members more engaged and informed. The communications technologies are rapidly changing. Social media is a much bigger thing. To the degree that our members want to be engaged in such media efforts, we need to find ways to be responsive, again in a cost-effective manner. And we need to recognize diverse pathways to engineering and engineering technology, not necessarily among our faculty members, but among our academic professionals, but among our students, our grad students, our undergraduate students, and the pre-college students who are increasingly active in the organization, and think about how we can both illuminate those pathways and reinforce opportunities to advance along those pathways to education and then careers in engineering and engineering technology. Finally, I have set as a personal priority to enhance the knowledge, effectiveness, and responsiveness of the ASEE headquarters staff to our members.
And I know another priority for ASEE is K-12 STEM education,
Yes.
especially when we're talking about next generation science standards coming out. So how important is it for these standards to be adopted, and do you see any potential problems in doing so?
Next generation science standards represent a major opportunity for the engineering and engineering technology communities. For the first time, they incorporate engineering design explicitly along with mathematics and science. So this is our first real formal entree into the pre-college arena. Typically, most students don't see engineering until, if they're lucky, their first year, in most cases sophomore or junior years, when they really begin to see engineering work. So this is a big opportunity for us. By the same token, it's an opportunity that has to be carefully managed, because the first iteration of the next generation science standards really, or actually the second generation, really didn't, in our view, represent engineering well. The final is much better, and so we're pleased about that, but it requires careful attention, and we have to look, as those standards are implemented on a state-by-state basis, our members within each given state have to maintain their level of awareness and their level of engagement with their state legislatures and the state departments of education in how those standards are implemented, because that affects what the public perception will be of what is engineering and engineering technology. And we need those populations, the pre-college populations, the students, their teachers, their parents, to have an accurate view of what engineering and engineering technology is, both in terms of enhancing their awareness and using engineering as a construct for why the study of math and science is important, why K-12 technology education is important contextually, but also as a preparation for moving on to collegiate level study. They need an education that is in fact an adequate preparation to move on to further study. So being involved at the state level as these standards are rolled out and implemented is critically important.
And giving input on public policy is something that you're very passionate about. Talk about what you're planning to make an impact on right now or in the upcoming months.
There are a number of issues that, well, we have since last year very pleased to have had an opportunity through the Engineering Dean's Council to have President Obama speak with the engineering deans and encourage their direct participation in the goal of graduating 10,000 engineers. We choose to pursue that through a strategy of both enhancing retention. Every campus has some level. Nationally, we retain roughly 60% of engineering students through graduation. Some schools obviously retain a much higher percentage, but at every campus there's an opportunity to retain more of the students who have made it through our filters to become admitted to an engineering program. We need to see them through to graduation. And we also need to look at how to bring more students in and retain them. We're very pleased to be on board with that White House effort. There are any number of legislative efforts that are also looking at both pre-college and enrolled engineering students as in terms of ways to encourage students to enter careers in engineering and engineering technology. We need to be aware of those various pieces of legislation, how they affect on-campus and education, and whether or not some pieces of legislation may be well-meaning but may not be well-informed. And so our concern is that whatever legislation goes forward, that it in fact achieves the goal of enhancing the attractiveness of engineering technology and being supportive of students entering, being competitive for and completing those programs of study and entering the profession.
So along that same vein, how does ASEE plan to provide support for the engineering researchers that are out there now?
Sure, I appreciate the question. And that's actually more complementary to our efforts at the legislative or the pre-college level. Our members, the core of our membership are engineering faculty. And faculty are involved in teaching, obviously, but research and public service. And we've talked about teaching and public service. The research part is a part of the responsibilities that, frankly, even though we have an Engineering Research Council, a number of people do not think ASEE has a prominent role in. I believe one of my tasks as executive director is to change that view. We are very concerned about the ability of engineering faculty, especially pre-tenure faculty, to be very successful in their roles as engineering researchers. We are looking over the next several years at ways to enhance their awareness of research opportunities. For example, within our journal interest magazine Prism, we hope to this fall, fall of 2013, begin having columns by research leaders, research agency leaders within the National Science Foundation, for example. We may be able to expand to other agencies as well. We are looking at perhaps providing seminars on leading edge research topics. What are appropriate topics for ASEE? Probably involve topics at the leading edge of interdisciplinary areas that are not appropriate for any single other engineering society. So looking at crossing boundaries. And so we are looking, and there are additional activities as well that we'll be pursuing through the Engineering Research Council to help faculty become more competitive in their proposal writing, et cetera. So becoming aware of opportunities, being more aware of the types of things that agencies are looking for and opportunities to practice being more competitive at the proposal writing across that set of things is where we want to step out rather boldly, and there may be additional things as well. So as I said, we're very concerned that we're preparing our members to be successful across the entire set of activities, teaching, research, and service.
And finally, what do you hope attendees walk away with from this year's conference?
I hope very much that they will walk away with an understanding that ASEE is concerned about their development, their full development in all of their needs and capabilities. And our members are not only faculty, they are academic professionals that support faculty, that support students. They are members of industry who are concerned about the quality of the engineering graduate, members of industry who may want to make sure that schools have the latest and most innovative pieces of instructional technologies available to them. And we have any number of members or a large number of members who also represent other organizations who wish to access our members and provide them with additional opportunities. So I want our members to understand that there are a variety of services that are available to them, that we wish to enhance those services and understand from them what additional services they want us to provide so that we can begin thinking about how best to provide them. Any membership organization, of which ASEE is one, any membership organization exists exclusively to meet the needs of its membership in advancing themselves professionally. And so we're looking to do that and to get their input on how we can do it better.
All right. Norman Fortenberry, Executive Director of ASEE, thank you very much for your time
Thank
today.
you, I appreciate it.